What Christians can do is to pray. We need to pray for the soldiers, not just my son, but all of them, and understand that all of them have at least left parents and siblings. But like my son, he's a newlywed. In Deuteronomy, I had to reread this yesterday. In Deuteronomy 24:5, I think it is, soldiers
Yeah.
or young men who are married are not supposed to be going out to war. That's one of our negative commandments. Don't send your sons who are newly married to war. They're supposed to be home with their wives. But now my daughter-in-law is home in her family's, in her parents' house, fretting with nothing and not knowing where her husband is. And my daughter with 3 children. And there are tens of thousands of us. And our parents, and my son, we raised him right. We're proud of him, but we're scared. He could be going in, and Hamas is prepared, and they've booby trapped stuff. And when he left here, he was in and out in about 15 minutes, and we packed food for him and got him all his stuff. His last words walking out of the house were, "Don't worry." And he shut the door, and my wife looked at me and said, "Yeah, wait till you have a son who goes off to war, and then say, 'Don't worry.'" Of course we're worrying. It's sickening. So pray for that, and pray for the I'm so glad you mentioned it. We do need to pray for our leaders here in Israel, and yes, the Biden administration. They need to have their come to Jesus moment, because honestly, how they can sit back now and not recognize that emboldening Iran, which is the leader of all of the terrorists in the world, with $6 billion
Yeah.
just last month, $6 billion, that it wasn't going to embolden the rest of the terrorists. Of course it is. They need to understand that this can't happen. In a previous interview I did today, even in America, the borders there are not safe, and America needs to be prayed for. And others. I was in Europe this summer. I know you spent some time in Europe earlier this year as well. We're seeing an infiltration of hateful extremism